Hey, welcome to Three Count Commentary. This is your boy Mongo Slade, and today we're going to talk about Alexa Bliss. So, Alexa Bliss wrestled Nikki Cross on the February 1st episode of Monday Night Raw. This spins out of Alexa Bliss being eliminated by everybody to wrestle at the Royal Rumble. So, Alexa Bliss tried to transform during the Royal Rumble while she was getting beat up. She was being playground Alexa Bliss. Then she tried to be fiend out Alexa Bliss, but she got thrown out first. So she was out. So apparently she just has this match with Nikki Cross. Now we don't know how this match happened or what this match was for, but what it sounded like, listening to Nikki Cross in the match, it sounded like this might have been something Alexa Bliss asked for. This is one of the few times where Alexa Bliss probably needed to cut a promo so that I could understand what the fuck is going on. Okay, but this was fine. So for starters, Nikki Cross's theme song. I have no idea. I have no earthly idea why they picked that song for this character. And I don't know why you would use some West Virginia country, hardcore country, pop country bullshit for somebody from fucking Scotland. How does that make sense? And to be quite honest, I'm one of those people, man, that I say that your music doesn't make you or break you. Not really. But it helps, right? It helps a lot. It helps set the tone for the character. What tone are you trying to get away here with this freak out bullshit? Like, what tone are you trying to set? Nikki Cross is not whatever this is. Whatever that is, cowboy boots and straw hats and shit, flannel shirts and square dancing, that's not Nikki Cross. So of course this shit doesn't work. Anyway, that shit sucks. It fucking sucks. I could spend all day talking about how trash that song is. We're not gonna go into it too much longer though. So the match starts and Nikki Cross cuts a promo after the bell rings. Like, I would have thinking that this thing would have been better suited if they just gave Nikki Cross a microphone and let her basically say, "Hey, look, we're used to be friends, but I don't want anything to do with you anymore. Leave me alone. I don't want anything to do with you." But they basically decided to talk in this match. So Nikki Cross basically says that Alexa was her best friend, but she doesn't want anything to do with her right now. But if you want to fight, let's go. And so, of course, in usual fashion, Nikki Cross is losing that. I mean, Alexa Bliss is really kind of not really winning as playground Alexa. She's kind of getting outwitted a little bit. Nikki Cross is very aggressive. She's like, "What do you want with me? What do you want with me, huh? You want me best friend? You want me best friend?" Occasionally, Alexa Bliss would get some offense in. And I thought it was pretty funny when she started playing Hopscotch. Now, you started seeing this kind of game of Alexa Bliss is playing. She's laughing at Nikki Cross's offense and stuff like that. It's very similar to what, Bray Wyatt done. They showing the parallels, right? That when Bray Wyatt is basically Mr. Rogers, he's not as tough as he is as the Fiend, but he's still pretty tough, where he can take beatings and he giggles and plays around. And so now you got Alexa Bliss playing fucking hopscotch in the ring, which made me laugh. I laughed my ass off at her playing hopscotch in the ring. I thought that was hilarious. Of course, it's an absolute slap in the face to everybody who ever done anything in a wrestling ring. But I thought it was fucking hilarious. Like, if we're going to go full retard, just let's go. All right, let's just go there, man. We're already doing the camera magic. We're already doing dress rehearsals, and people are taking pictures out and breaking kayfabe. Look, man, who cares? All right, she's no Harley Race. She's no Ric Flair. She's no Tully Blanchard, no Magnum TA. This ain't the dusty, smoky areas of the NWA. This ain't even the grunge, blood and guts of the ECW. This is community fucking theater. Okay? So she might as well play hopscotch in the middle of the motherfucker. Who cares? At this point, who cares? But I was stupefied. I laughed. I saw that shit. I was like, we've gone. We're gone. We pickled our brains with this shit. Anyway, after the hopscotch, Jesus Christ, we started getting the camera magic. And this is where Alexa Bliss starts to play mind games with Nikki Cross. She flips characters, of course, camera magic and editing or whatever the fuck they're doing. And we get regular old Alexa Bliss. You know, she's trying to be buds with Nikki Cross. And Nikki is yelling at her, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And she's like, okay. Well, Nikki Cross beat her up. You know, Nikki Cross beat up this version of Alexa Bliss, who was her actual friend. You know, her friend version of Alexa Bliss, she didn't try to talk to her, she beat her up. She's tired of Alexa Bliss playing mind games with her anyway. I mean, why would she fall for that again? Because they did do this in a previous match between the two of them, and Nikki Cross fell for it, but this time she didn't. So she gets Alexa Bliss in the corner. She's beating her up, and then, of course, we get the music change, camera cuts back, and it's Playground Alexa again. And Nikki Cross sells it perfectly, was like, you know, pulling her hair, like the big eyes, and her pulling her hair, pulling on her hair and everything. And because this is so mentally debilitating, you know, she gets hit with this new twisted version of Sister Abigail, which is more like, who uses this move? I forget who uses that move. It's kind of like a swinging DDT, more not the Sister Abigail, which is basically an STO, or a swinging flatliner or something like that. But it's different. It was different, and she actually won. So Alexa Bliss just won the match. Okay, fine. So, no Fiend, but we did get some interesting things that happen next. Because right after she wins, you know, they play the music and whatever, and next thing I know is, I hear voices in my head, they talk to me, and of course, so Randy Orton's coming out. So, of course, Randy Orton was supposed to be burned. Well, apparently he has Wolverine-like healing powers. So, his face is not burned at all. He's also not wearing his mask or anything. So, they walk past each other in slow motion. Alexa Bliss is enamored with Randy Orton, and Randy Orton is refusing to acknowledge Alexa Bliss. He just kind of walks right past her. And Randy works his match, and then Alexa Bliss is sitting, you know, she interrupts the match when it seems like Randy is about to win. And she's sitting on the ring post, you know, kind of squatting on the ring post. And she starts coughing up this goo, like this black stuff. And that was enough to distract Randy Orton, and Randy Orton loses. And of course, it all comes back to normal, and she's gone. So Alexa Bliss is haunting people. She's bothering Nikki Cross for reasons unknown. We don't know why she's doing any of this stuff. Like, we know that she's messing with Randy Orton because, you know, Randy Orton got rid of the Fiend. So we're building up for that. Okay, fine. I just want to know where this character is going now. Like, this character's off the rails now. And I'm kind of tired of the camera magic. Like, the camera magic stuff is cool, but they're doing it too much. All right? I'm cool, like, if they'd have did, like, a Three Faces of Foley thing, where if she just showed up on Raw, kind of like she was normal, like they had completely dropped it. And it was like, they went back to her old theme and everything, and she just wrestled this match as Alexa Bliss and not as Fiend out Alexa Bliss or whatever. And really fucked with Nikki Cross's head by her kind of acting like all the Fiend stuff didn't happen. You know? Like, just pretending it didn't happen. Like, there's a lot of animes like this, but, you know, it's a new one called Jujutsu Kaisen. And it's about this kid who, he eats the finger of a sort of a demon guy, you know, and the demon guy now lives inside of him because he ate the guy's finger. And this is a regular trope in anime. You probably remember, if you saw Naruto, you probably know that the nine-tailed fox or whatever lives inside of Naruto, but this is similar. And the demon guy that now lives inside of this kid, you know, he swaps bodies with the kid. Like, he'll swap consciousness with him. So if the kid is kind of like in danger or whatever, or, you know, even sometimes the guy just takes over because he wants to kill people or whatever because he's evil. He swaps consciousness. Okay, you can't do that in wrestling. Like, I know people want to be able to get away with that shit, but you can't do that in wrestling because it's not sustainable. I've said this 3 weeks in a row now. But what you can do the 3 faces of Foley, which is kind of what they were doing with The Fiend, where they would have Bray Wyatt wrestle some matches. And then they had the Swamp fight where old school Butcher Bray Wyatt, the Swamp guy, showed up. And then The Fiend would show up too. So you had all these different characters. I would have preferred if they do that with Alexa Bliss. That if they, have Alexa Bliss come out as her NXT character one time. Being, what was it? The sparkly, whatever the fuck that was supposed to be. Like, have her do that. Mix it up. Have her come out as somebody different each week, so you don't know what you're doing, what you're expecting. As under different guises, and of course she performs differently under different, costumes and stuff like that, because the camera magic is getting a little tiresome. Because we know that they're heavily editing these matches. They have to be. There's no other way for you to have completely changed her outfit and hairstyle and everything in a second. Like, how are we going to do that in front of a live crowd? But you can get away with, the consciousness of, like, when Mankind became Dude Love, like when he was wrestling Triple H in that cage match, right? And all of a sudden he just started, like, the music changed and he was outside the ring and his foot started tapping. And then he started doing the Dude Love, knee crossing thing, like where he kind of has like a different personality. Like, that's fun, where he is all of these people and he taps into them regardless of what costume he's wearing. He's tapping into different consciousness. That's where I was going with the anime thing, right? And Alexa Bliss could have these different types of personalities where she can pretend to be normal one minute, while then also being Fiend out the next, and also being Playground Alexa Bliss at a different point in time. I think that's a lot more sustainable because it comes across as being very schizophrenic. And rather than we're going to go through the whole thing with but they started this shit with The Fiend. When The Fiend did that one trick, that one time he wrestled Randy Orton on TV, and they did the camera thing where after he ate that RKO and he went to pin him, and next thing you know, it was, The Fiend in the ring. We've been doing this shit ever since. I think I'm cool with it, but they need to calm it down. Let's do classic 3 Faces of Foley type of thing, where maybe Alexa Bliss tries to have Alexa Bliss on the playground. Like, why not? I mean, those are you don't have to do those in the ring. You could do that in the back. You could have Alexa Bliss maybe interview Alexa Bliss, similar to how Foley ended up interviewing himself, like when Dude Love interviewed Mankind. Like, you could do that if that's what you want us to understand, or you could just have her feuding with different people under different personalities and stuff like that. Like the Fiend out Alexa Bliss is going to be feuding sort of a Randy Orton, and you're going to have this thing with a different Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, and then different other things going on. I don't mind the whole supernatural aspect of it, but I'm just tired of the fucking camera shit, and it's like every week now. And I'm like, we don't need it every week. We don't need it every week. But I do like the character. I just have problems with it every week. We could use a little bit less. And I'm glad they didn't let her get away with it in the Royal Rumble. That was good. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to this channel. Thank you guys for your time. Spread the good word of 3Count Commentaries by utilizing the hashtag 3Count Commentaries. And I'll talk to you guys later. If you feel like you want to, throw me some cash, the Cash App would be in the description. I appreciate that. And I'll talk to you guys later.
Yeah, shed light. I know what that's like.